Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in May 2020. Hello, Capricorn. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. What kind of accent was that, you may ask? I don't know. Anyway, Capricorn, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you're sane. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. So let's hang in here, guys. I know this pandemic is difficult for many of us. It's going on 2 months, or almost 2.5 months for some, where things have been quite in a disarray and things have really changed in significant and very impactful ways. But hopefully we will be wrapping this up soon. Where I am, some restrictions have lifted. Maybe where you are, some, or if not all, have been restricted. However, make sure you follow continued guidelines because, you know, the vaccine ain't ready, baby. And, you know, regardless of your opinion of what that means or if that's even a viable option, I'm just saying, they don't have all the answers. So let's just try and mind ourselves out here, okay? Anyway, I don't want to get too politicized into it, but I've seen some things in the news recently, and I'm kind of like, come on, people, let's keep it together. All right, so that's all I'm going to say for the most part, okay, hopefully. Anyway, let's get into it. Capricorn, that is your spread. I have shuffled off camera. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. You have two flip overs here. You've got the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Coins, so ending something possibly with the 10 of Wands, 2 of Coins, but maybe having a hard time deciding when and where or how to do that. Possibly. Maybe. Doesn't have to be. It's just what flipped over there. Now, also in the description box, you will find the information you need if you want to order a personal reading from me. If you have a question before you place an order for a personal, go ahead and email me at the exact same address, and I will email you back. Yes, that's true. And I will answer your email as soon as I can, okay? Also down there, you will see the link for my Instagram page. It's a little slow lately, guys. My energy has been taken up with this, doing personals, doing my regular job, trying to socialize because I'm not a robot. So the Instagram is still a work in progress, but I pull oracle cards over there. You can see the name here. It is EmpathicFire Tarot, in case you missed it in the intro. And so I pull oracle cards. I intuitively, that's the word, intuitively interpret the cards there, and maybe eventually I'll start putting some pick a cards and other fun stuff over there. So if you want to follow me over there, that'd be cool. All right, enough of the jibber jabber, chitter chat, blabbity blues. Let's get you a outcome. Okay, I want to see the outcome for Capricorn in May 2020. May 2020 outcome for Capricorn, please show me. Oh gosh, this feels, you know, you and Sagittarius and some other readings I've done. Okay, thank you. Not as bad, but it's a little tight between yesterday and today. These energies have become tight. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to find out in the reading. Let's find out. Let's flip what came face down. Okay. All right. Let's get these things kind of straight, because your girl likes order and neatness, which you should appreciate, Capricorn. You guys love that stuff, don't you? All right, let's see what's going on. Please show me where Capricorn is in May 2020. Capricorn in May 2020, please show me. Okay. All right. Not bad. And I mean that, Capricorn. Coming into May, you come in with the 10 of Coins. Initially, my energy says, not bad. Why do I say that? You might be wondering. Well, 10 of Coins is, as you can see, a card with a lot of riches in it, or a lot of abundance in it. Now, does that mean you're, a multimillionaire? You might be. Hello, thank you for watching my little tiny channel here on the internet. But what I mean more, it's riches as in you feel good, you feel safe, you feel provided for, you're able to give provisions and support yourself, whatever your situation may be. There is this ability to stand on one's own 2 feet, or being surrounded by people who support you in that way. So friends, family, people that you know and love. Um, in the traditional depiction of the Ten of Coins, you'll see a family dynamic. You'll see generational dynamics. So you'll see the parents or the perceived like current generation. Then you'll see children, the future generations, and then you'll see the past generations because there's an older gentleman. And you'll also see friends and loyalty and all kinds of aspects because there's usually like a dog in that traditional depiction. And of course, all those wonderful coins all those pentacles about. So right now, Capricorn, family, cornerstones, keystones of your life, whether it's family that you're born into, whether it's family that you create and cultivate for yourself amongst friends, whether it's a family that you yourself are creating, like physically giving birth to, raising, nurturing the next generation, whatever way this plays out, that feels really that's like your anchor spot. Anchor spot? Just your anchor. What the hell's an anchor spot? Anyway, that's your anchor right now, Capricorn, possibly your priority. Now, in some of your cases, it does directly have to do with money. You are interested in securing finances for yourself, for your future generations. It could deal with inheritances. Some of you might be coming into money because of the passing away or the signing over of property from someone of an older generation, right? Regardless of how or how serious, or not how serious, but the degree to which this is affecting you, the point is it's like really focal in your mind. Like what I'm doing here is, what is this? No, that's not right. You guys don't know words sometimes because they're like, it's a peephole. No, it's not a peephole. It's a spyglass. Thank you. That's the word. Spyglass or periscope or binoculars. It's like your singular focus is whatever is representing or whatever represents the Ten of Coins to you. So again, whether it's your family of your birth, family of your making, the family you're creating with your partner, whatever. And then the physical 3D way in which you can support that unit or you find stability in that unit, right? Because some of you, it doesn't even have to be about, some of you, it doesn't even have to be about money. Some of you, as many of us have been want to do at this time in the pandemic, you've gotten God, I can't even speak to you today. Reunited. You've become closer together with your family who you may have been estranged from, who you may have had very passing, casual relationships with. Before this, maybe you only spoke to your parents once or twice a month. Give them a call. Hey, mom and dad, how are you? Oh, we're good. How are you? And it's just like, pleasantries and all that kind of stuff. Now, in this unknown time, in this uncertain time, or this time of, certain crunches and certain strenuous elements that we're all facing, I feel as though you've come together with people, some of you, not all, with people that you haven't been close to for a while. I'm not saying you're reconnecting with creepers, by the way, okay? This isn't some, hey, it's me, your childhood bully from the neighborhood, or it's your childhood bully, I happen to be your father, come give me a hug, or come, give me a virtual high five over Zoom. No, this is wanted and welcome. This is not reinvesting money, okay? This is not reinvesting time, energy, and effort with people that you don't want in your life. That's why I made a point to say, or the family you've created for yourself. Because if your family was a bunch of monsters, they're not the ones that you're getting close with, is it? Maybe some of you are trying to reconcile that. Maybe that's in the cards for you. I don't know. But in general, what I'm getting off of this initial card for you, Capricorn, is getting close to people that you lost touch with, and you're happy to be reunited with them. You're happy to reconcile with them. You're happy. You feel, I would never use this word, not even in like well, maybe I would, in a creative story, but buttery. You feel buttery. You feel warm and toasty by being around these people or speaking with them, or you've rekindled what you used, like you're cracking old jokes. Oh, remember in 1982, this happened and that happened. Oh, that was such a good time. And you're like, I was 4. I don't remember that, but okay. Anyway, so that's what this Ten of Coins feels like. A good reunion, a good coming back home kind of scenario. And maybe some of you, that's what happened. You knew the country or wherever you are in the world was going to be under lockdown. So you flew home, you drove home to be with your parents because, nobody's around to take care of them, and you go to take care of them. Or you go home because you need to be taken care of. Something like that. Okay? So, what else happens? Yes. Okay, in that time. Yes, go ahead, Capricorn. You're doing the work. You're doing the work. I can see it. And no, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, you're doing the work. It's not easy, but you're doing the work. So if some of you are really, okay, I see that. Some of you are counting your pennies for something. You're really having to mind your money. Coins are not only money. In the tarot, coins or pentacles are not only money, but in this particular case, given that it's right next to the 10 of coins, some of you might be relying on your family for money, relying on them to kind of, hold you up at this time, which again, makes sense. A lot of people who lose their jobs, a lot of people who are reduced capacity at their work, I got to come home, mom and dad, I can't afford my rent. And you could be 30, 40 years old saying that. And that's the sad economic reality for many of us, okay? So it's not shade, and it's not calling anybody a deadbeat, because that's not it. The circumstances at hand have caused many people to go back home because they simply can't afford to live on their own anymore. Now, in this time, you're investing, or is that the right word? No. You're calculating. You're strategizing. That's the word. You're strategizing on how to avoid the situation in the future. Now, of course, the simple solution is get a job if you lost your job. The simple solution is, okay, start saving money if you're living on savings, right? But it's bigger than that, because I think, Capricorn, a lot of you, your pride is on the line here, or there's something about, because I said that when I talked about the the 10 of coins, standing on your own 2 feet, right? This is getting a game plan together so that you never, ever, ever have to not be able to stand on your own 2 feet before. And again, there's a little bit of pride in there. Gotta be honest, there's a little bit of pride in there. And that's interesting because, but it actually makes sense, because as an archetype, you guys have a high work ethic, high standards when it comes to being independent or being able to maintain yourself, take care of yourself, feed yourself, clothe yourself, pay for your own rent, pay for this, pay for that. Like Capricorns, that's your bag. 10th house, that is your bag, okay? The bag is your bag. Getting a bag is your bag, right? So if you've been hit with a loss in terms of your cash, the time that you're spending, sleeping on mom and dad's couch because, your rent came due and it was going to be, you were going to spend your last penny. And between you and your parents, you said, I got to come home. We don't want to see you paying all this money and you don't have a job, just come on home, right? Whatever your agreement is. In this time that you're on the bench, so to speak, we get this planning and strategizing, analyzing, right? Like, look at that hand to the right of the card. Like, I get like somebody like moving pieces, like like if you put like a chalkboard up there or like a whiteboard and gave her like a little dry erase pen, this person would be like drawing formulas on a whiteboard, figuring out how to calculate their savings going forward, because this pandemic, according to everybody, not just Capricorns, is a bunch of bullshit. It's unfair, uncertain times. And I don't want to deal with this again in the future. I want to make sure that I'm safeguarded from it. So the 7 of coins is about safeguarding, strategizing at this time. Looking back towards the 10 of coins, you might be looking back towards your friends and family, the people that support you, that have offered you help. Oh, that's the other thing that's on that card. I didn't even notice until I looked down on it. Looked down at it. There's also grapes there. So fruit on the vine. Something is very plentiful. And I don't think some of you, no. You might be worried about being seen that way. Okay. Because like you're looking at the 10 of coins and you're seeing the abundance, or you're seeing the fruitfulness of that situation, your family, your friends, whatever this is to you. Okay. And you see it as an opportunity. You could go rest there. You could go chill out there and get your game plan together. There might be some of you who are judging yourselves and thinking you're like a leech. Like, oh, here I am, leeching off my parents, leeching off my friends, leeching off of my brother, my sister, whoever, right? These are unprecedented times, my friend. And I mean, again, you're not hovering around or getting into contact with people who would be giving you a hard time for this, for the most part. It feels like a very positive relationship or connection here between you and whoever is existing in the Ten of Coins. But I feel some of you might be looking at yourselves in the mirror going, oh my God, you're such a piece of trash, or you're just sucking off of their kindness and you're just taking them for granted, or you're just taking this as a handout. You're worthless. And I mean, really, I'm trying to be hyperbolic, but some of you might be literally feeling this. You're worthless. Like, the reason you never should have taken that job in the first place. You never should have moved all the way to Brazil anyway. What were you thinking? That was so foolish. That was so dumb. You're sitting here, or I feel it's mostly self-contained. If it's someone outside of you, get rid of that person. Or, well, it'd be harder if they're coming from the Ten of Coins, but I really don't think they are. I think that this criticism is mostly you. You're judging yourself. While you're strategizing, you're judging yourself. I could see that. I could see a Capricorn being into a little self-flogging. I could see that. Busting out the what is that? The nine of tails, or whatever that device is. Cat of nine tails, I think that's what that's called. Or a flogger, whatever. And you're whipping yourself. Capricorns love to whip themselves. Why? I don't get it. Why do that? I mean, I get it. I do it myself. I'm a human. But I feel Capricorns do it. Maybe it's a motivation. Maybe that's what it'll end up being, a motivator for you. Regardless, the Seven of Coins is time for you to sit back and re-strategize, reprioritize, refocus, get together a whole new game plan. Chuck whatever you were doing before. That job didn't work out. Okay, going forward, what job will work out? That's gonna, withstand the impact of a pandemic. I need one of those jobs. You know what I mean? If this was about the dissolving of a relationship, because that's possibly, yeah, okay, I see it. That's possibly here for some of you, that this is a dissolving of a relationship, business, family, lovers, whatever, and you have to, again, go back somewhere. Many of you are going back somewhere after losing someone or something, okay? Don't beat yourself up too much about it. That's all I can say, because it's again, maybe it's a motivation for you. Maybe it's one of the ways you process, or that you're going to process this whole phase of your life. Perfect. But don't dwell on that. That's all. I'll say it that way. Don't dwell on the self-criticism. Don't criticize yourself too much, okay? A lot of time is wasted if you do that. Right? Or your energy. Or your what you're, like I did say the word investing. Some of you might be doing that. Oh, okay. For some, okay, there it goes. Okay, I see. Some of you might be dragging your feet on being proactive at this time. Not most of you, just some. So some of you went home to live with your mom or dad, or both of them, whatever your situation is, right? And you got $2,000 in your savings. You had to leave where you were because you couldn't afford the rent, whatever. You go home, rent is free or rent is low. Some of you, instead of being proactive and searching for a job, what are you doing all day? Playing video games, sleeping in, eating a bunch of spray cheese out of the can. You're spending money on things you don't need to. You're going through some retail therapy in some of your cases, right? Oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Why? Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. Oh man, I need my hair done. Why? You're not going anywhere. Who are you going to see? Nobody. Or, I mean, you know what I mean? I guess if you're looking for a job, maybe that's important. But you see what I mean? It's just like, some of you, just a few, are spending money frivolously. And you don't, be careful. Okay? Now, yes. Next card that you have is Justice. Major Arcana for Libra. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to be. So this is, for a few of you, this is that finalization in a relationship. There's justice in the situation, meaning either karmic justice or actual justice, like actual divorce papers for some of you, or official, like, breakup text, like it's over. There's something Poetic justice is also here too. That's very interesting. So some of you are watching somebody get their comeuppance in a very ironic or you're like, well, I'll be damned. It's like that kind of energy. It's like, oh, of course that's what happened to you. You know, and you're kind of smugly standing on the sidelines of social media, possibly laughing at somebody else's defeat or their terrible hard times, okay? And that's, you know, your business to do that if you want. But more to the point, justice is like I said, about karmic justice. It can be about lawful justice here on this earth. But the aspect that I think affects you more directly, Capricorn, is seeing the fairness of what's going on and rallying, okay? Seeing your circumstances as a growing point, or a point of, a point to, how can I say this? I mean, a growing point is kind of fair, but basically like, and what did you learn here? Or what's the takeaway? More than what you learned or anything like that. What's the takeaway here? What can we apply? Because it's above the 7, right? So it's above that evaluation point. What can I take from this god-awful experience of losing my job, losing this relationship, running out of cash 1 month after I lost my own job, and now I have absolutely no cash inflow. I've got nothing left. Like, what am I to learn here? And how can I apply that knowledge going forward, right? Because justice, Libran energy, and Venusian energy, because Libra is ruled by Venus, it's creative. You know, Venus and Libra care about love and all that good stuff, but it's like creative thought. It's innovative in a way. Like, I think that's why I'm having a hard time doing this. You might have to think outside of a box that you've never considered was a box worthy of thinking outside of. That's very interesting. You might have to think outside of a box that you never thought, and the box was never something you thought to think outside of. Something like that. So you may have always thought your life, your career had to be this type of career, right? Proves that industry or your particular employer wasn't essential and you got laid off, right? Maybe now you have to, after working in this industry for 10, 15, 20 years, you might have to think about, okay, it's, you know, it's a stable job when it works, but when it doesn't, you know, I'm completely, you know, up against the wall. You might have to consider going and getting recertified in something. You might have to consider changing industries. You might have to consider different ways of spending money. You know, like I said, some of you are practicing retail therapy and that's one of your ways you've always dealt with stress. That's fine when you're working and you have 40 hours and you've got a 401k and you've got all this money coming in. But in the middle of unemployment, in the middle of times of stress, you're hitting, you know, buy now, buy now, buy now on Amazon like 3 times a day. Girl or guy, that's a problem. So justice is saying, it's like reconsidering, because that's what like Libra does. Libra reconsiders, tries to see the other side of things, other possibilities. That's part of being diplomatic, right? Part of trying to make two sides of a issue not necessarily agree, but in some ways come to an amicable conclusion, if not agreement, right? Come to some type of amicable ends, right? Right? The scales are balanced. There's a rainbow in the sky. There's hope yet. That could also be what you need to do. In this reflective energy of the 7 of coins, this pause in the action, this taking time out and reconsidering and reflecting on what has happened to you recently, you might discover in concert with the Justice card that you have, the way you've been viewing this has been a limitation. Your own mindset has been a limitation here. Not the blame, not the reason why, not the, you know, the fault of you, but it has been limiting, maybe, right? There's a dexterity of the way you think and process this moment, the way you evaluate it, because again, justice is in some ways judging things, or you're judging yourself. There needs to be a mental dexterity here. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Again, don't think just because this happened to you, it means that you're garbage, or like your prospects are garbage or anything like that. Keep fighting, or fight through that energy, fight past that. Yeah? You might have to confront, dun dun dun, yourself. Okay, so the Devil card. Major Arcana for Capricorn, so this is your energy. And by the way, I've said this is Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. This is a general. I could be talking about someone that you're dealing with, okay? It doesn't have to be you. But this is confronting that naysaying energy. And, you know, the ironic thing, well, not the ironic thing, but the nuanced understanding of all tarot cards, of all the major arcanas, Capricorn, is that they both have a light side and an underbelly side, or a light side and a dark side. I like to say it underbelly because I feel the dark side gets a bad rap, because to truly exist in this world, you have to master your underbelly or your dark side anyway. You can't eradicate it. Can you eradicate the night, my friend? No, you can't. You can't eradicate the night, so why would you try? Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep into my own philosophies, but I think this is like kind of seeing your bad side, quote unquote, your bad side, or your less than admirable attributes, and highlighting them, and kind of chalking yourself up to be just those parts. No, there are other aspects of you that are great. There are other things about you that you've yet to discover that will be great. And there are other ways in which you can perform in this world and be accomplished and be successful and be seen as somebody who contributes to society. And it doesn't have to be because you earn a lot of money. It doesn't have to be because you've never had to, like, some of you maybe have never, like, you may be in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and you've never had to ask anybody for anything. This could have been the first time in your life that you've had to ask someone for help, and you feel ashamed. Devil does that. Devil, I don't want to say houses, but I mean, I get, well, no. The devil energy, again, the underbelly of what the devil energy represents. Capricorn energy, Saturn energy. Looks at not being able to fulfill obligations, looks at not being respectable or responsible as being essentially the worst, punishable. People who aren't responsible, people who don't pay their taxes, not saying that this is about taxes, but I'm just saying, people who don't pay their taxes, people who don't tip the bartender, people who don't shop with recyclable bags, you know, people who don't do things according to what's deemed as the right thing are the most duplicitous and disgusting people, or the most punishable people. And now, because of this one time where you weren't able to stand on your own 2 feet, like I told you back with the 10 of coins, and you're having to rely on other people, or you're relying on people maybe for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 17th time in your life, who knows? There's this judgment of, ugh, I'm just like them, or I'm just like this set of people, or I'm just like that particular person that I've always judged or always thought in some way I was better than. At least I'm not like Jan. At least I'm not like Rodrigo. At least I'm not like, you know, whoever. It's now you're like, oh shit, I'm just like Rodrigo. I'm just like Jan. Are you though? There's and that's here to this guy, because notice where he is on the board. Devil's in the corner. All the things that we talked about before are cornering him, putting him into this one little corner on the board. So this is an isolated energy. It's not bearing absolute truth to your situation. In the moment, sure, you feel scuzzy, you feel scummy, you feel worthless, you feel like, I didn't do enough to protect myself. I didn't do enough to, interesting, defend, for those where this is like a legal thing and like, yeah, you might be like, I didn't do enough to defend myself. I didn't have a good lawyer. I didn't have enough money to afford a lawyer, whatever. You're blaming yourself. And that's it's just, don't give in to that. Please don't. That's all I'm going to say. Because that's a trick. That's a trick. It's not true. It's not an objective truth. And if it's true for the moment. You know, God. Your present and your past moments are not the only defining things of the future, FYI. If that were the case, we wouldn't have evolved as a species, right? You wouldn't mature as you grow older if everything you've done in the past will automatically determine what happens in your future. Like, come on, man, that's limiting self-belief. That's that underbelly of the devil. Limiting self-belief. Bullshit. Get rid of it. Now, what else happens? Yes. You healed yourself. You move on. Boom. Right now, and soon to be, you get this star card energy. Major Arcana for Aquarius. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. The star card in tarot is known to be one of the healing cards. Temperance is another one. Oh God, now I'm going to sit here and challenge myself. Maybe the sun can be one. Maybe. But anyway. So, after some suffering, you gain some type of clarity. Yeah? You gain some type of insight. You might have a brilliant eureka moment. Because this guy, he came up, I think, yesterday in one of the readings. I'm pegging this to kind of represent in a low-key way Sir Isaac Newton, and he was a brilliant mind, right? He invented so many things, he discovered so many things, so many of his theories and his work has influenced where we are today and will continue to influence where humanity goes in the future, right? Now, I'm not trying to say you're going to be the next Sir Isaac Newton. Maybe you are. I don't know. But, you know, to get to that point of brilliance and to have your work be influential, there's growing pains in that. You think the first time he submitted a paper to a scientific journal or he proposed a theory that other brilliant minds of the time or the people in his community openly embraced all of his ideas? I'm pretty sure not. So it's the same thing here. You think the first thing that you do, that you not create for yourself, but that you propose as a way to get out of your situation, as to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and make a better life for yourself going forward. You think everything that you propose to yourself or that you think you're going to be able to do is going to be a success? No. You will have some small failures, or if not failures, stumbling blocks along the way. However, the star energy ultimately is about revolutionary and evolutionary and brilliant it's like exactly. It's no limits, actually. And what did we just talk about a moment ago with the devil? That's limiting self-belief. There's no limiting beliefs in the star card. None. I mean, just look at where he is. Abstractly, in the cosmos, in some other dimension maybe, reaching up to what? Who knows? Like, I mean, this deck is not the most abstract of the decks that I've had or that I've seen people use, but this card is fucking abstract. This card is like so many possibilities. It does evoke or does kind of require hope, faith, belief. But you, more than anything, I think what you will not adhere, but I think what Capricorns are easier to kind of align with is consistency. The star card is consistency. Or it does contain this element of consistency, I'll say that. Because in order to achieve this, whatever Newton, whatever Einstein, whatever Oprah, whatever Ellen DeGeneres, whatever these people who come into our, you know, the public domain of being creators, innovators, people that impact the earth, people that leave a mark here, people that, revolutionize an industry. Like I mentioned Oprah, and some of you are like, how do you go from Einstein and Newton to Oprah? What did she do? She revolutionized the talk show platform. You know what talk shows used to be? Bunch of dudes in a studio smoking cigarettes, talking about the woes of politics and the economy and all that kind of stuff. It was very boring. It was very mayonnaise. Okay, no offense, because I love mayonnaise, but it was very mayonnaise. Here comes Oprah, a little plump thing from Chicago, right? And especially like daytime talk, what she did and how she created this empire and how her empire has, number one, sustained her and all the people that she knows and love, her dogs, her Stedman, her Gayle King, whoever, right? After conquering her own limiting self-beliefs, dealing with some justice issues, mad cow anybody, okay? She, as an innovative mind, had to have faith, had to believe, had to be consistent. You can have that too. Will you be the next Oprah? Will you be the next Sir Isaac Newton? I don't know. You'll be the next you. You'll be the next whoever you are. Yeah? But what did she do? Again, star energy is a healing energy. So a lot of times, I'm not even a huge fan of Oprah. I just know her. I just know about her very casually. A lot of times, she was healing herself in the middle of her work. Here I am being this, at this point, billionaire. But when she was in not that status, she was a multi-millionaire, very famous lady, who was still being criticized for being a big old fatty. Oh, look at Oprah's weight. And she's crying on her shows, or she's, documenting her weight loss journeys and all that kind of shit. And now she's at the point where I'm so badass, I don't care how fat I am. I'm going to eat all the bread I want and still live a healthy lifestyle. I've got avocado trees on my property. You know what I mean? It's just like, in the middle of her struggle, she didn't give up and saying, well, I'm fat and nobody likes me, or I've reached the top. She kept pushing herself. She kept being motivated and wanting more for herself. So now, what does she have? She has her own goddamn network. What other talk show host in the history of the world has their own network? Waiting for the answer, because I don't think there is another one. You see what I mean? Capricorn, be nice to yourself. Believe in yourself. Make a plan. You're good at that. Make a plan and execute that plan. And if the plan fails, rewrite it. Reconsider it. Don't be afraid or this knockback, this knockdown, this timeout that the universe has put us all on. Don't take this as some type of punishment. It's not. This is a point of growth. That's been a theme in all these readings practically. A point of growth. Get into it. You don't have to, of course, but I suggest it. And the potential is here. The potential is here. Whatever woes you had regarding other people, because that's coming through a little bit here as I'm about to transition. That's why, because you have to leave them behind. Listen, if you have had dealings with people, friends, family, otherwise, and they caused this setback, or they made the setback for you a little bit worse. And when I say the setback, I mean possibly, again, having to go live with friends or family in the middle of this pandemic, possibly losing your job in this pandemic, possibly running out of savings, whatever your situation is. If someone contributed to that demise of your stability, let that person go. Be prepared to let them go. Even if you love them, even if you care about them, even if you guys are supposed to be some type of union, maybe not, okay? Because what I see is a person who, for this moment, doubts themselves, and they shouldn't. You're beautiful, you're powerful, you're incredible. Stop fooling around. Now, Two of Wands, on the move. After the healing, after the spending many nights hunched over on the drawing board, sketching out new schematics for your life, figuring out your next plan, giving yourself plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down to Z if you have to. Then you re-emerge at some point, ready to go, ready to make a stand and plot your own course or plot a new course for yourself. Two of Wands. Where am I going next? Left, right, up, down, north, south, wherever. Some of you left the home, left the family nest. You moved to the big city, or you moved across, international waters thinking you were going to do XYZ. Pandemic said, nope, everybody go home. Everybody sit down, have a timeout, have a juice box, relax, right? You took that as the universe saying, no, your idea is crap. No. Or your wish to live on your own, or your wish to live in this country, your wish to live in this area, your wish to have this job, your wish to live with this other person, or explore a relationship, or get into a business with this person. It may have worked for several years, and then now it was diminished in the matter of 2-3 months. You're kind of like, wow, we were building something for 5 years. Maybe you were developing something with this innovative energy of the star. Maybe you were in the tech business. Maybe you were building like a huge, what you thought was going to be a huge splash of an app, a new app, or a new innovation, whatever. And then you lose your funding. Your startup crumbles because investors pull out money, whatever. And now you're thinking, oh, that was a bad idea to begin with. No, it just wasn't the right people. You didn't need that partner, or you didn't want those investors in the long run. I think most of us are not going to be able to appreciate what we are meant to have learned during this pandemic until months or years from now. Truly. But in this moment, that's what this feels like. This feels like, don't worry about who or what you lost back then. Take the lessons, take the notes, going forward, figure out a way to restitch this or to rewrite this path for yourself. You can do it. Really, there are other people here, but you're the primary player in all of these cards, and you're multifaceted if you haven't guessed. You're critical of yourself, but then you're able to give yourself some type of healing, some type of reprieve, right? You're able to plot your own course, but you're also able to take not handouts, but accept help when you need it, right? There's multiple facets of you. You're not a one-box person. I told you, you will have to think outside of a box you didn't even know was there, or you never thought to think outside of. Get into it. Capricorn, I love this. I love this because I've been on this journey. If I'm honest with you, my friends, let's be a little honest with each other right now. I've been on my spiritual journey for 5, 6, 7 years, something like that, in varying ways and different degrees. But I've been on this journey for a long time. Some of you are just getting here, starting this. Some of you are a year in, 2 years in. Let me tell you, when I was a year or two into this shit, I was like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I here? This is garbage. I feel like a failure. I feel like this. I don't have everything that I'm aiming to get for my life. I don't have everything that I've put this work into and manifesting and creating new pathways for myself. But damn it, I know I'm progressing. Two of Wands. That might be the first step in your progression. Might be the next step. This might be the 50th step out of a 100-step plan. Are you going to chuck it all away just because you're halfway to where you want to be? Please, that's not a Capricorn's way. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm asking you that question. Your outcome is the Strength card. Hey now, hey. Hello. Major Arcana for Leo. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. Look at this shit. Get into your power, friend. This is perseverance. This is fighting the good fight. This is coming out on top. Now, it's not to say you're coming out on top and you're, rubbing your dirty boots in somebody's face. No. I don't know who needs to hear that, but this is not about that type of retribution. This is not about a revenge plot. No. This is about maintaining or rediscovering or discovering for the first time your own personal strength, your own personal wherewithal. What can I take? How much can I take? Did I take more than I needed to? Okay, now I know going forward to have a firmer boundary with people, right? Maybe you lost your business or you lost that startup because your partner was like, let's not shut this project down, let's ride it out. And you're like, no, let's protect what we've invested or what's been invested in our company so far. Let's pause the project. And maybe you just felt that back in January and your partner was like, no, let's go forward. And you went forward and you lost all your money. Something like that. So now other people previous to this point may have pushed you around or may have influenced you in ways that you didn't want to be influenced, or maybe you never spoke up. Strength card is about the energy of the strength card. Not outspoken, but certainly is not going to sit idly by and watch some bullshit go down. Some of you held your tongue. Like I said, you may have been self-critical, right? You may have had limiting beliefs. I didn't think I had the right to say that this was a bad idea or that I didn't agree with it. And, in some of your cases, maybe lawfully you're on the hook for some things because of your intermingling with other people. But when you get the strength as an outcome, or what I feel you're moving towards is being more forthright as you progress in life, as you move down this new path, whatever the Two of Wands indicates. Yeah? Never again am I going to sit silently by and let my business partner run the books. Maybe your business partner was cooking the books. And because you're both signed on to negotiations or agreements, because you both have your names on these corporate accounts, now you're on the hook for embezzlement. What? I never embezzled a goddamn thing. He was in charge or she was in charge. Well, your name's on these documents, Capricorn. No, you don't understand. So now it's like, oh no. The next business partner you meet, or you say to yourself, you make these promises to yourself. Never again will I be such a fool or such a blah, 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 insert your critical word here. I'll never be such a blah, blah, blah ever again and allow someone to burn me like that, to pull the wool over my eyes like that. Think of Oprah. You think to be a billionaire that at every turn people were being honest with her in terms of money and financial dealings and all kinds of negotiations? You think so? She has to be a shark. She probably got burned a few times early in her career. She might not talk about them. I'm sitting here having a revelation. It's very personal to me because I'm one of these people who sometimes looks up celebrity birthdays, especially if it's a celebrity that I care about or I'm thinking about in the moment. I think Oprah is an Aquarius. Google it and let me know, because I'm pretty sure she's an Aquarius. I don't know about you, Capricorn, but this reading is fire. And now, your overall energy is the Five of Wands. So, overall, this is a ruckus. This is a bit of a tussle, and it usually involves other people. And that's true. For those where, this is kind of like a late addition, for those that are having legal troubles, some type of court date, some type of reprimand by the law, or if you're, in the spiritual world, you might be getting reprimanded by karmic law, whatever. It might involve other people. There might be some flack. There might be some debts that need to be paid. This is not about money, clearly, because it's wands, but I get the sense that you might get news in the form of official communication, because the wands can talk about communication sometimes, or receiving what is this? Mail. Thank you. Jesus. So some of you might receive messages or mail or official mail, or just you might hear through the grapevine about certain things that kind of tick you off, that kind of piss you off. But more to the point of what the Five of Wands is, I think that this is a contesting energy. I think that some of you are having to close up shop or put an end to certain relationships or dynamics in relationships that are counterintuitive and counterproductive to what your goals are. It tends to be, Five of Wands tends to be petty fighting, arguments and disagreements that don't have to happen, but they do happen. And it's because people are being petty. It could be you, could be them, could be whoever's involved, right? Overall, that could be sort of the basis or the background of a lot of what we talked about here. You might be on this journey of trying to restart your life and get back on your own 2 feet, and someone from your past, or even someone currently, like if you are going to stay with family, maybe some family members are critical that you've gone back home to your mom or dad. This could be an aunt or an uncle or your brother or sister. Why are you back home at mom and dad's place? Because I need to be, So that's static. That's some bullshit. Don't engage. But if you do choose to engage, it will be short-lived, or it is kind of chaotic in the moment, but it should be short-lived, okay? I personally wouldn't engage because I don't do that shit, but you do what you want. Capricorn, that is your reading for May 2020. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Hit it for me. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read that. Feel free to share the video if you like. If you want other people to know that you like my stuff, or there's a message here that would like really resonated, cool. And of course, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You know, think about it. You know, give it a moment. But if you guys did want a personal reading, that information is in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing. Also, the Instagram link is down there and all that good stuff. Capricorn, I'll be back very soon to do your mid-May messages and then your Junes after that. At some point, I might do a surprise live here on the channel. Maybe I'll do it like once a month. Who knows? Your girl has to make her. See, I'm still on my spiritual journey. I got a lot of stuff I still got to work on. So we'll see about that. But hopefully I will see you guys in the future. I do appreciate you taking your time to watch this video today. Take care.